I'm led to believe it's your 500th career appearance tomorrow. Is that right?
Yeah, getting old now, aren't I? So, yeah, no.
Is that a proud moment for you then?
Oh, massively, yeah. I think, I don't talk to my wife, I think if you'd have said to me when I was 17 that I would have played 10 games, like then 50 games, you know, I'd have bit your arm off. But to get to 500 and still only be 33 in goalkeeping terms, it's still fairly, not young, but still got a few years left. I would never have believed it. So yeah, I'm really honoured to be able to do it and grateful for the opportunity from everyone that's given me the chance.
Yeah, like you say, you're still only 33. How many more appearances do you think you can make?
I don't want to give an estimated figure because I don't want to jinx it or anything like that. But I believe in myself, especially living closer to home now and looking after my body a lot more. And I'd like to think you only get better with age as a goalkeeper, so they say anyway. So we'll see. But the way I'm feeling, I've definitely got 2-3 more years left in me of definitely playing week in, week out. I'm sure, but you know, football's a funny game, so I don't really want to put a number on it and kind of jinx it. But in my head, I'm looking at definitely 2-3 more seasons, and then anything after that. I think I've said to you before, whether it takes me to 38, 39, I've become a bit part player or that experience number 2, number 3. I want to stay in the game for as long as I possibly can.
How much has the role of a goalkeeper changed since you first started?
To be honest, when I first started, you just ride that adrenaline wave, don't you? You're just kind of a young kid and you just go with it. So I didn't really take too much on, and maybe playing in a young team at the time, didn't really think about it. But especially being here now, being one of the older lads, I think you've got to be a calming figure. I think the whole ranting and raving of Peter Schmeichel, that's gone. You've got to be someone that the boys trust, the management trust, and the fans trust. You know, and I feel like I do that. I'm quite calm-natured anyway. Don't really get bothered by too much stuff. Obviously, the style of play has changed in the Premier League and the Championship with regard to your feet, and obviously watching Notts County the other night, it's slowly filtering its way into this league. So the actual style of goalkeeping has changed. But I think as a character and a personality, you have to be quite calm and influence. And one of them that I believe in the changing room, that if the lads want to talk to you, I feel like you've got to be the one that's open to everything.
And like you say, goalkeepers are probably they are being asked to play out from the back more and more. And do you think that's filtering down into the lower leagues as well, right from the Premier League?
Yeah, 100%. Like I just touched on there, Notts County were very good at it. Although I know we set them up and we pressed well. But you only have to look at some of the players in our team. I mean, Gav, Loz, I know Crawley's out injured. Witts, King, all them at the back. They would have the ball off me with 2 or 3 strikers around them if they could. They're very comfortable on the ball, and it's about utilising their assets now, isn't it? I think just because it's the so-called National League, you'd have to boot it anymore. I mean, look at the size of the teams that are in here. It's a good league now. It's arguably just as strong, if not stronger than League Two. So the quality is getting better. The players are dropping down, and I think you can see the style slowly changing.
What have been the highlights of your career so far?
First of all, just being a professional, mate. I love that feeling, every week walking out, whether it's here, whether it's at Watford, Ipswich, wherever. When you're in the tunnel and you walk out in front of a crowd, Chelsea away 6, it's one of the best feelings you can ever have, like just walking out. Representing my country at under 21 level was a massive honour, because there was some really, really big names in that squad at the time. So to get in there and especially make 14 appearances is something that obviously I'll live with, but forever. But my biggest achievement really is just walking out every day, getting up in the morning, and I'm a bit of a goalkeeping geek, mate. I just love it. I just love diving around, and hopefully I'll never lose that feeling.
15 clean sheets for yourself this season, I think that's right. How do you assess how you've performed so far?
Yeah, it's the most I've had in a season, and to be honest, I don't think you could argue if we would have had 19-20, with a few of the last minute goals and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, I'm really proud of it, but at the same time it's like, could have been more, do you know what I mean? And I think over the course of the season I've grown into the team, I've been solid, got to know the lads. Obviously, like any goalkeeper, there's been a few ups and downs, but I think that's part of the role, isn't it? And it's how you bounce back and how you recover from that. And I'm not one to shy away and say, I've been excellent and all this, but I'd say on the whole I've been solid and reliable, and I think that's what a team looks for.
What's it been like under the new manager so far?
God, it's great. He's like someone's just put a Duracell battery in the club, mate, and it's just gone off. He's so energetic. I've never come across him before but obviously knowing him through the leagues and stuff like that, and seeing his interviews on the TV, and he's just exactly what you see is what you get, and he's injected a lot of life into the squad, and I think it helps that we had a great togetherness before. I think I've said that, I've touched on that before, and I think he's just gone in and added more fuel to that, brought us all even closer, and long may it continue, because with the injuries we've got and the bodies we've got, you need that positivity, you need that kind of energy running through the whole club, and I think that's what he's brought from right from the boardroom right through to probably the club shop. Everyone just seems to be kind of buzzing at the minute.
Is he asking anything different of you as a goalkeeper from anybody else?
No, not really. He knows. He says, "Look, you're experienced enough now I don't need to hold your hand on the pitch. If it's there to play, obviously you play, but you've got to take the conditions into account. If you look at our pitch, it's not ideal at the minute, and with two big lads in Quiggs and Quasi up top, there's no reason we can't hit them and then build from there. Just not overcomplicate it. He's one of them. He wants the players to take charge when they're on the pitch. He can guide us all he wants, but a manager can't hold your hand, can he? Do you know what I mean? But I think what he just wants from everybody is 100% commitment, and just be willing to go for it, and have pride in wearing the badge. I think you can be over tactical, over technical, and then you can go out there on a windy, wet afternoon on a bit of a sandpit, and it can all go out the window. So I think as long as we've got that desire, that mentality, I think that's all he wants.
And it looks like the lads are really enjoying the style of play that he's trying to implement at the minute.
Yeah, well, I touched base on it then, with the playing out from the back, and I didn't even mention like Calvin, Wheelo, Saidu, Manny, Jack McCourt, naturally gifted footballers. We're quite blessed with it throughout the team, which again is very rare at this level. That you'd have, you get the one or two technicians in a team, and a lot of teams play for set pieces and allow them technicians to come to the forefront then. But with us, we can get the ball down and play, and I think the lads now are breeding in confidence, and you can see that on a Saturday. I think because they know they can make a mistake, and that's what he wants. It's just that reaction. They're kind of expressing themselves a lot more.
What's your assessment of the title race then?
I was having this discussion this morning with my mate. At one point, you just can't work it out, can you? You just can't work it out. I think it's quite entertaining for a start. I think the main thing is we just keep chipping away, because you never know. If you're in there with 2-3 games to go, then the teams around you and above you, they're going to get nervy. Stockport, you can say on paper they've got an easy run, but this league, there's no such thing as an easy game. So people are saying, oh yeah, but the last 7 are tough. But knowing Stockport, they'll win the last 7 but lose the next 3. You just never know with the team. So I don't think you can call it. I think Wrexham are coming strong at the right time. I think it's just bizarre. I think it's a really, really crazy league. And I remember James Rowe saying before Christmas, right, if we win 12 games, that'll be it, because looking at the points total. But we've got 13 left. I think you might have to win 13 to win it. It's crazy, honestly. It's definitely one for the neutral, that's for sure. But all I know is we'll be giving it 100%. We're not settling for a playoff place. We want to finish as high as we can. If we can get there and be in around it and nick it, we nick it. If we can get second or third, we'll give everything, and that's what we're trying to do.
The club's been through some adversity in the last sort of month or so, but you've got back-to-back wins now. Do you feel like you've come out the other side of that now?
Yeah, I think it was more of a bit of a shock to the system, because we'd only lost 2 games. And let's be honest, it was always going to happen. This league is going to cause upsets. So I think because we lost 2 in succession and at home, and the circumstances around it and stuff, it was kind of like, whoa, do you know what I mean? But I think, bouncing back, I think the best thing that could have happened was actually the Oval game, not playing particularly well but winning. It always gives you that boost of confidence and kind of gets your feet back on the ground and go, right, we've got through it, let's kind of kick on. And no doubt there'll be adversity to come as well, but again, it's how we bounce back, and if we can be more consistent than not, then like I said, we're going to be up there or thereabouts.
You think there's going to be many more twists and turns to come yet then?
100%, yeah. But you can't bet. You can't even bet on this league, can you? It's just mental. A team that's 9th could just come out of nowhere. Do you know what I mean? And win every game. It's very, very bizarre. But like I said, if we can just keep chipping away, the thing that kind of works in our favour, I think, is a lot of people writing us off now. Obviously, Rowe left. Obviously, the Cabs injury, Crawley, Rowe, McCourt. Everyone thinks, they're down to bed. That's fine. Take the pressure off us. Just let us do our thing. And like the boys, you can see the other night, the atmosphere, like going 1-0 down, just keep going, keep chipping away, and I think that suits us, and we'll keep hanging on in there.
what do you make of the support that you received from the fans this season?
Oh, it's incredible. I said to numerous times to Bucky in particular, like, I've played for some good clubs in this league, but you don't realise how big of a club this is, I think, until you're here. You know, when you see the consistent away following, and that's no disrespect to any other team. You know, when I've been at other teams in this league, you get the odd local one where you take quite a lot of fans, but there's away games here, there's over nearly 600 every time, isn't there? And that's for like the long distance. And then obviously getting 7,000-8,000 at home is, I mean, that blows some League 2 teams out the water, doesn't it? So some League 1 as well, I'd imagine. So it's obviously a very, very big catchment area. It's got a very big pull. But I'd like to think as players are trying to put the smile on their faces and entice them to come back. Do you know what I mean? So I think we work well together. I think the players and the fans have got a really good relationship this year. But I think it's because it's a good squad. Everyone's quite open, quite, willing to, on your social medias and that, the little reply. I think that's massively important, because it could be the fans like the other night that get us over the line. Because when you've got bodies out and stuff like that, if we can make this a fortress, it might just help us just get that one foot step of someone else.
Is this a club which you'd potentially like to end your career at then?
100%. I've said it before. I mean, there's no reason for me now to be anywhere. I mean, admittedly, I know I'm getting old. I know I'm not going to play every single game of every single season. I know that. I'm not trying to kid anyone. I'm not trying to say I should be playing here, I should be playing there. But in my eyes, there's no reason that I shouldn't be here till I'm 38, 39. Obviously, I want to play as long as I can and perform as high as I can and do what I can for the club. But then I also think if the next one comes in and he's a younger lad, I think with my experience and stuff like that, I'd be great around the place. The answer to your question is yes. Like, I'm down the road, it's local for me, it's a massive club, and I want to finish the job that obviously we came here to do, and not just that kind of just stay here and help them kick on again and again, really.
And I think when we first spoke, when you first joined, you said that you were desperate to win something in your career. You were desperate to have a medal around your neck at the end of the season. It's getting closer, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. Yeah, honestly, just anything, mate. Anything. Just I'll take the playoff final now. Come on, let's just anything. Just like I said, I'm just thinking about my career now, and it's been amazing. And I still believe, like I said, I still believe I've got a good 4 or 5 years left. But when I look back, I've been very, very lucky. But I think I said before, if I could trade a hatful of them games, a bunch of them games for a medal or that feeling, then I probably would. But then on the same time, will it feel a lot better to me and a lot more if we go and do it now? Do you know what I mean? So I can't wish for too much, but that's one thing I want. I just want that bit of success, be part of something, because it's nice being a professional. It's nice getting up every day, training and stuff like that, and being part of a team. And the celebrations the other night after the game, like, I love it. I turn into a fan for about 5 minutes when we walk off the pitch. I love it. Like I always have. I've done it at every club, so I can only imagine what it's like if you win something. So I just want a piece of that.
Just a quick word on tomorrow's game then. Southend, a very much improved team and a different side to the one that you've previously faced this season.
Yeah, I know the coaching team quite well. Obviously, I worked under Darren Curry. I don't know Manic, but I know they've taken good people in there. And I think if you get good people in charge of your football club, the players react. They've obviously been a key factor in how they've turned around, and they're riding that crest of the wave at the minute. They're on a great run, but we've only lost 4 seasons, so they won't be looking too excited to come here. I know we've got bodies out, but we've just beaten one of the best teams in the league, so it's going to be an interesting game. I think it would be a good one for the neutral again. 2 good teams fighting it out, and we've just got to play with that same attitude and that same mindset that we have done all season, really, and just think, right, we're going to grind this out and we're going to put a show on, and hopefully it'll go our way.
What does a win like that against Notts County, a comeback win, a special win, what does that do for the squad going into tomorrow?
I think it's more of a kind of, it doesn't give you that arrogance of like you're going to go beat anyone, but it gives you that belief that, right, okay, we can go 1-0 down against a big team and we can remain calm. Things might not go well, and then we can go and score 3 goals in the last 20 minutes of a game if we stay in there, but we're good enough to do that. I think it kind of puts a bit of a realistic view on it, that you're not going to have games all your own way, but we're good enough to beat these teams. And we've done it a couple of times now. We've done it against Dagenham. We didn't play particularly well, went 1-0 down and obviously got back into it, and obviously now not. So I think what we're starting to show now is we don't just want it all our own way. We can fight back and we can dig in. So I think it just makes everyone look around the changing room and think, right, I want to go to war with him tomorrow. Yeah, I trust him. Do you know what I mean? I think it just brings you together a little bit more, mate, if I'm honest.